Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and we're gonna give you a daily dose of, Palworld updates. I've been covering Palworld a lot this month. It's like the biggest game on the planet. Of course, there's a lot of controversy around Palworld because people are making, pretty appropriate comparisons between Palworld and Pokemon, and there's been a lot of drama there with the Pokemon company having to address, I believe, a bunch of freaking tattletales coming to them being like, do you know this game? This game called Palworld exists and they look kind of like Pokemon? You need to sue them, Nintendo. Get them. So Nintendo, believe me, if Nintendo and the Pokemon company and whoever the hell makes Pokemon, all these people involved in making Pokemon, if they could take down Pocket Pair, the studio behind Palworld, tomorrow, I think they would do it. Absolutely. I think they would absolutely do it. And now things are going to get a little more intense because another area that Pokemon dominates in outside of video games is collectible card games, trading cards, merchandise. And it looks like Palworld is already working on that. They're already working on their own collectible card game. Uh-oh. So is that going to be the new thing the kids are all into, trading the Palworld cards? Actually, since Palworld seems to appeal more to adults, I would love that these cards were kind of like Garbage Pail Kids, like roasting the hell out of Pokemon in the write-ups on the back. That would be pretty amazing. What would be really interesting is if they were compatible with the Pokemon card game. I mean, if you're looking at other game systems, people can make like unofficial add-ons. Be like, yeah, you can, like, we're not telling you to, but if you wanted to use these cards with your Pokemon cards, you could do that. And there's like nothing Nintendo could do about it. Like you could use it. You can mix your Mega Bloks with Legos. We just can't really come out and say that it works with Lego trademarked whatever. We'll just say it works with other block systems, right? That's what I'm wondering. But this is some pretty interesting stuff. What's even more interesting is Nintendo. Every time Nintendo tweets something about Pokemon, and they've been tweeting up a storm about Pokemon over the last week, trying to remind people that Pokemon still exists, right? But every time they tweet something about Pokemon, they get trolled by users on X, on Twitter. And that's kind of crazy too. Like, I never thought I would see the day where Nintendo is being mocked for promoting its own products. Usually everybody's like behind Nintendo. Everybody's like, yeah, get them Nintendo. But then now we got people like turning on Nintendo for Palworld. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about this. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Check out our other channel, Clownfish Gaming, and check out clownfishtv.com on Twitter, on X. I've decided to give it another shot. Go out there. We're actually going to post video content and news on Twitter/X. Anyway, I thought this was really interesting and kind of sad, actually, because Nintendo's trying really, really hard to, remind people that Pokemon is still a thing. And they've been tweeting up a storm. This was on January 26th. Look at all these Pokemon we got, guys. Oh my God, Pokemon. We're the real deal. Pokemon. But then you go into the comments. Palworld devs taking notes. I've never noticed Nintendo post this much Pokemon content before, says Press X Fool. Dude Bro Duke, why the sudden urge to keep posting about Pokemon? Aussie Corp says, this is the most I've seen Nintendo post in forever. Couldn't be due to a certain surprise hit Palworld. Could it? Yeah, no, that's what I think it is. This is why people flock to Palworld. The owner of the Apple is about the lawsuit that the Pokemon designs are so good, this guy says. The Pokemon designs are so good that they're at a risk of being plagiarized. I don't think they're that great. We don't care. We play Palworld. Palworld. Anyone notice that Nintendo and Pokemon Twitter are spamming tons of Pokemon tweets since Palworld became popular? Palworld. That's basically it, right? This is Kenru, Winter Attire Jack Edition. Neat. Anyway, this is Chillet from Palworld. Oh my God. Oh my God. Lovely design. Palworld comments incoming. Sounds like a Palworld tweet. I miss Palworld even more. Yeah, but this one plants berries and does a little dance while doing it in reference to Palworld. Is that a pal from Palworld? What is this design? Palworld wins. Palworld's better. I gotta tell you, this is a very, whatever this is, that is a very ugly looking Pokemon. Hydrapple. Hydrapple, the evolved form of Diplin. They, when you've got like, what do they have, like 500 or 600 Pokemon now? Like eventually you start to run out of ideas, right? Here's another one. Now everyone can see what the legendary Pokemon Ogerpon really looks like behind its mask. Okay, going into detail. Palworld right now. Taking notes. Palworld's got you all shook. Design's too busy. Pals are simple and cute. The fight is on. Close Game Freak down. We're all rooting for Pocket Pair now. Oh my God. More Palworld tweets. Palworld. Oh my God. Precious baby. I think it's too complicated. I do agree with him. I think it's too complicated. That's one thing I liked about the first gen Pokemon, the first couple generations of Pokemon, is that they were simple and they were, but again, when you have, however many hundreds of monsters or thousands of monsters that they have now, I've lost track. You're going to be kind of reaching. You're going to be running out of ideas. This thing just it's weird looking. It's just weird. It looks like a character from like some Dreamcast game from like the late 90s. It doesn't look like a Pokemon to me. That's just me. Palworld clears your mid game. Oof. This game looks like a Palworld ripoff. What the F? Yeah, everybody. Careful. Palworld comments incoming. The comments are just as obnoxious as I thought they would be. That checks out. Why would you spoil this? Mariku, Kudiku, whatever your name is. The reason they're doing this is because they're trying to lure you back to Pokemon. They're trying to show you all the cool stuff, or what they think is the cool stuff, to lure you back to Pokemon, to get you away from Palworld. You can't be looking at Palworld. Her ass isn't that fine. Look at our moldy-headed dragon's bright red ass. Don't you want to just bite into that? Pokemon stands? Yeah, you want some of this. You don't want any of that Palworld nonsense. Even Deserto is getting in on it. I thought this was funny. What's the best Pokemon game? Got all the Pokemon games right in the middle. Palworld. Palworld is the best Pokemon game in years. And that's the problem. The problem is Palworld is what Pokemon should be. Now, I'm not talking about being able to capture and butcher humans, but the evolution of the game going from just, gym to gym and fighting your Pokemon, but actually having like just a wide open world, crafting, being able to interact with your pals the way that you are, that, just stuff them in the balls and keep them in your gym locker or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like to actually be able to interact and live with your pals and, eat them, I guess, and put them to work. But you know what I'm saying? It feels like a living, breathing world. Pokemon does not. Pokemon has not evolved, no pun intended, in decades. It pretty much is the same game, at least the mainline games. I've heard that there are some of the spin-off games are a little more open world. I haven't played those. I did play Sword and Shield. I think I played. Yeah, Squeaking had Sword. I had Shield. I played a couple hours of it and I got bored. I'm like, this is basically just Game Boy Pokemon on the Switch. Same deal. A lot more talking. Very linear, very boring. Palworld literally just drops you into this world with all these monsters, and it's just wide open. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, even if it's completely unethical. Nintendo would never go there with Pokemon, but the same concepts could be applied to it. That open world, the crafting, the multiplayer, that kind of, they could bring that to Pokemon. They could learn from Palworld. And if nothing else, even people that hate on Palworld because they think it's a clone of Pokemon, it's going to force it's going to force Nintendo to do better. And I think that's a good thing. You know, it could be that someday, you know, nobody cares about Palworld. They're like, hey, remember Palworld? That kind of was doing the thing that Pokemon's doing now before Pokemon, and then something happened, company went out of business, or they got sued or something. You know what I'm saying? That totally could happen. It could happen. But it's in the interim, it's going to force Nintendo to really rethink their strategy with Pokemon. And if you're a huge Pokemon fan, this might actually be a good thing. They might bring out another iteration of Pokemon that is significantly more evolved than what has come out. And that is capitalism. That is the upside of capitalism. That competition makes everybody have to be better because you're competing for customer dollars. And yeah, there are downsides to extreme capitalism and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it, whatever. I'm talking that the good for the consumer is that companies have to compete for your money, which means that you're probably going to get a better product. So even if you hate Palworld, even if you hate it, you think it's a knockoff, whatever, it is going to hopefully result in a better Pokemon game. I'm just saying. But in the meantime, it is hilarious to read these tweets that everyone is trolling Nintendo over Palworld. And I think they're scared. I mean, I think they're concerned on some level. They would not be tweeting this much about Pokemon. People are going to be like, yeah, Nintendo never tweets this much about Pokemon. They never spoil things like this. So they are clearly worried about Palworld. And it's only been a week. I mean, a week, and they've sold 8 million units as of a couple of days ago. They're saying they're going to investigate it to see if there are stolen assets, which I don't believe there are. 6 days ago, Palworld overtook Cyberpunk 2077 as Steam's most played games list. Is probably the biggest thing on the planet right now. Whether or not that'll last, I have no idea. But it's a huge deal. So Nintendo's answer is, let's tweet more about how cool our Pokemon are. Beep, boop, up, up, up. Everybody remember us? Yeah, no. So we'll see. Put out a better Pokemon game and people will be more interested. I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.